Hi, my name's Ken Stafford. I'm a maths tutor. I put together these sheets from GCSE past paper questions from some of the students I was working with, and I've put them online so they're free to use, they're free to download, and this is just me going through the solutions, how I would solve these questions. This function machine pack isn't very big, there's only 3 questions, so that's telling you that function machines haven't come up that often on the GCSE papers. They're not particularly hard. I will put a link to places where there are more questions like this if you'd like to practice a bit more. Question 1 here. So we've got an input at the beginning and an output at the end. And we're told that in part A, work out the output when the input is 8. So basically, we're just going to do what the function machine tells us to do. So we're going to do 8. Let's make that a bit thinner. Times 5, and then we're going to take away 2. So rules of BIDMAS always apply. 8 times 5 is 40. 40 take away 2 is 38. Part B, we're told that the output is 28. Now, because we're starting at the output, we've got to work the other way. So we've got to do the opposite of what it's telling us. We're going from the output back to the input. So we're going to do the opposite. So we're going to add on 2, and then we're going to divide by 5. We're going to do this in the order it's written. So how I've written it out, we would divide by 5 first, but actually you're meant to do it in this order. So I'll put the brackets around it just to make that clear. So this is 30, 28 add 2 is 30, divided by 5, which is 6. Now you can always check if you've got the right number by putting it back through. 6 times 5 is 30, 30 take away 2 would be 28. So we've got the right answer there. So question 2, very similar. We're told the input is 6. So we're just going to put that 6 into the machine and do exactly what it says. So it's 6 times 8, and then we're going to take away 5. So 6 times 8 is 48. 48 take away 5 is 43. And we've got a different machine here. The input is, when the input is 17, the output is 10. Okay. So we're putting 17 in, and we should get an output of 10. So 17 add 13 equals 30. So what's the last thing we do to get an output of 10? So we need this output to be 10. And there's actually a few choices. How do we go from 30 to 10? So we could take away 20. 30 take away 20 is 10. Or we could do something like divide by 3. 30 divided by 3 is 10. So the exam would allow different answers here. You wouldn't have to have the same answer as someone else. So whoever's marking your paper would mark it correct if it works. So either of those would be a good answer. And the final question on this sheet, again, very similar. We've got a function machine. They've called it a number machine here. And we're told the input is 7. And we want to figure out what the output is. So we're just going to follow the steps of the machine. So we're going to do 7 times 2 and then take away 3. 7 times 2 is 14. 14 take away 3 is 11. So the output would be 11. And now we're told to figure out the input when the output is 41. So we have to go the opposite way. So we're going against the arrows. So we do the opposite of what's written there. So instead of taking away 3, we're going to add 3. And then instead of dividing by 2, we're going to take away. Instead of multiplying by 2, we're going to divide by 2. And again, I'm just going to put those brackets in so that technically we're doing it correctly. So it's 41 add 3, 44. 44 divided by 2 is 22. And again, if you put that back through as the input, 22 times 2 is 44. 44 take away 3 is 41, so it would work. So as I said, there's not many questions on this sheet because this topic hasn't come up that much on the GCSE so far. And I'll put a link in the description for more questions like this. If you'd like to have the opportunity to practice more questions like this, you can do more. And if you look also in the description, I'll put links to my website where there are more sheets like this, loads more sheets for just focusing on specific topics from GCSE papers.